Let's go ahead and dive into the suggest campaigns. So I'm going to go ahead and click into, let's click on to this contact here. Alrighty. So I'm brought to the main suggest a campaigns page, otherwise known as the Autobot is what we call it. So I'm going to draw your attention to this right-hand side where we have preview mode. Here's an email that was crafted for me as the end user that I could simply easily go ahead and send out if I liked what it said. Now I could of course also go in and modify the messaging as I'd see fit if I wanted to make some tweaks, but we'll go there in just a moment. So how did this email get written and suggested for me to just send that easily? Well, it's based on the insights that are firing. Notice on the left-hand side from top to bottom, we have different news events insights that are firing, aka Clue just received financing of 62 million in Series B. Now that was just a few days ago, so that's highly relevant. I definitely want to reach out to this contact. I can also see some additional insights that might be related to actively hiring sales operations roles. This is one of our buyers, so if a company is hiring this type of role, it's a good signal for us to try and message and make their lives a bit easier around. They're also hiring SDR managers, and it looks like I've had no previous activity with this contact before. The last type of insight is a persona insight, where Cal actually matches the filters I built around this persona. If you want to learn more about personas, you can in another video, but think of personas as groups of contacts that receive similar messaging. So I might position my value prop to a head of sales persona differently than a CRO, for example. And we can see that I've classified this director of sales and grouped it within that persona. Okay, so based on the insights, an email is suggested. Another way to think about it is if this is happening, then say this. Now, you might notice right here where it says there's no reference to this insight in your email. And down here it says there's actually is referenced in the email. That means that somewhere in this message, it's referencing the fact that the company is actively hiring SCRs, but nowhere in this message is it actually referencing this insight or this one. So let's see if we can find it. Also saw a company name is hiring SDR managers, perhaps related to the round. So this is referencing the funding round as well. So that's really the meat of how it works. It's like based on the insights on the left-hand side, the messaging is suggested depending on what's available. Now, of course, you can continue to add to this library, modify, and set up your own if this and say that scenarios, but that's for another situation. Okay, cool. So you've got the main approach of Autobound now is I get this email suggested, I've got a bunch of rich insights. Now, what do I do with this email?